Hello, Castle Hill scientists. I am actually recording this in Toledo, Ohio. I came here this weekend to visit with my dad and family, my four brothers, my sister, and I'm having a lot of fun. I even passed by my high school, Ottawa Hills Green Bears, hence the cap with the green bear paw on it. I thought this week we would start with something really fun because I know that you all like ice cream, right? You know, I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream? Sure, of course. So I brought some of the things that I need for this experiment and others I had to get here. And which is really great about science is that you can do it any place, but sometimes you need to improvise. You should all have your container. And in your container is going to be the vanilla, but you'll notice I don't have my vanilla because it's spilled. Luckily, it is still in this little container, so I'm good. And then you should have your little packet of sugar. And again, mine got a little bit of vanilla on it, but it's still the same sugar, right? There wasn't a chemical reaction, so it's the same sugar molecules, same vanilla extract molecules, and I got my container here. Now, I did have to improvise. I got a big old bucket of ice from the hotel. I went over to Walgreens, and instead of getting the heavy whipping cream like you all have, I got half and half. Actually, yours is going to work better, but this is going to have to do for me. And I got some whole milk. And that's pretty much all we need to make our ice cream. Oh, one last thing. I didn't bring a bag of rock ice like you all have, so I just got some regular Morton salt. Now the reason we use the rock salt is that it doesn't dissolve as quickly as the Morton salt. And you're going to find out why that's important in just a few minutes. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up my cream, and I'm going to pour in 6 ounces. I think your container is a complete 6 ounces, so you can just go ahead and pour that in. Now, so our ice cream isn't super thick, we're going to add 3 capfuls of our milk. Three. And then I'm going to pour in my sugar and vanilla. So you might be thinking, how is this going to turn into ice cream? Well, that's where this ice comes in. But if we just took this container and put it in ice, so what's the temperature? What's the freezing temperature of water? 32 degrees, right? What's the freezing temperature of milk? Anybody know? It's actually about 31 degrees, a little lower than water. And that's because in our milk, there are the proteins, but mainly fats. And the fats are harder to freeze than just regular water. So that's why the freezing temperature of milk is lower. So if we want this stuff to freeze, we need to lower the freezing temperature of the ice so that it's not 32 degrees, but we're going to make it lower. And that is done by adding salt to the ice. It actually lowers the freezing temperature, which is why when it's snowing out and there's ice on the roads, people will put down salt, and that lowers the freezing temperature so that when any new snow falls on it, it's going to melt. All right? So I got my bucket here full of ice. I'm going to make a little hole in here, put some to the side. I'm going to actually put some more, a little hole in this. Now the reason I'm using this container, you might have done the same thing with a plastic bag, but I found that plastic bags and ice, if you bang them around too much, the plastic bag breaks or it leaks. So we're going to have this bomb-proof container here. I'm going to stick it in my ice. I'm going to make it so it's all... Actually, I'm going to back up a bit here. We really want the temperature at the bottom to decrease as well. So I'm going to scoop out a little bit more. A little bit more. I'm going to have a lot of space in there. Now goes in the salt. Not a ton. I think I told you to put in about half of the bag. Ice goes in. Science experiment for my students in Arizona. Yep. Okay. Alright, so we got that in there. We're going to put a little more salt in. And you're probably already thinking, Mr. Roberts, how long is this going to take? Well, you're going to have to be patient. Probably about 15 or 20 minutes, depending on how much you move it around. Alright, you can't just let it sit, because then the cream that's in the center of the container isn't going to get exposed to the ice that's on the edge of the container. Alright, so we really need to move it around a lot. And if your bowl's a little bigger, you can get a stick. I'm just going to have to shake this around like this, or actually I might go get the lid and I'll put it on, and then I'm going to shake the heck out of it. Alright, so get everything ready. I'm going to go put my lid on, and I'm going to shake for about 20 minutes, and then I'm going to open this thing up and we're going to see what we've got. Alright, so get going, start shaking, and we'll check in 20 minutes. Alright, I've been at this for about 12 minutes now, and I just can't wait to see what's going on. So, I'm not going to go full 20 minutes, I got to see what's happening in here. So I'm going to open this up. See the ice level of ice is going down a bit because it's starting to melt. Pull out my little jar of vanilla goodness. Get my spoon ready. What's that? We'll see. Huh. Alright. I got some little clumps of ice going on here. Some on the edge. Alright, it's definitely cold. And it definitely tastes good. Now, if I want it like a milkshake kind of thing, I could drink this up right now. But I don't want a milkshake. I want ice cream. So, now if I had more ice, I would throw it in now. So if you do, you might want to add that. But I am going to put in a little bit more salt. Try to get that temperature a little lower. And I'm going to really shake this thing around. Okay. Back in the bag. I'm going to keep shaking. Okay. I am still shaking. It has been about 25 minutes and I'm definitely ready for a break. So let's see what's cooking in here. I didn't add any more ice, but I did add more salt. Let's see what we got. Okay. I am ready for something good to eat. And here we go. And it really hasn't changed much, which is very, very disappointing. So, what might have happened? I've never tried to make this with just regular salt, so that could have been the problem. The other thing might have been I didn't have enough ice, because we need to get it really, really cold, because as the ice cream forms on the edges, it needs to freeze all the way in, so there might have been too much volume here. But anyways, I'm going to pop it back in. I'm going to keep trying. Now, if you get a little tired, you want to break, you can take a shortcut and close this little thing up. Go stick it in the freezer for about 10 minutes. Shake it every 2, and you're going to have some really good ice cream quickly. Now, what we just did is a demonstration, right? There was no variable, nothing like that. But I'm going to give you a couple ideas for variables. Okay, 1, instead of using whole milk, why don't you try chocolate milk, strawberry milk, chocolate? That could work. The other thing you could do, take your favorite candy bar, crush it up, not all of it, just a little bit, and pop that in before you start shaking. Alright, so play around with it, have fun, and I hope you all end up with some awesome ice cream. And I will be seeing you on Tuesday for our normal Zoom lessons. Take care, everybody. Bye.